Hello everyone, welcome to this last session, a wrap up session on Zentangle ins and outs. Hope you enjoyed the series. And today we will be drawing another tile using the same concept, furthering our journey a little more, trying out new things to give a little difference to our tiles, right? Add a little more Zen factor. So today I have another regular tile in front of me and I'm going to draw the Tangle Molygon now, right? So you can start with a border. However, I'm not going to start with a border. I'm starting right away. So with a sense of gratitude and appreciation, just start drawing the Tangle Molygon. So these are two C shapes and I have formed a crescent moon kind of a shape here. Now I'm going to order the first one closely. Come almost up to half of the first one and then add another of the C shape, joining the two. Again, add one more. So you can draw it any which ways you want. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to draw it in a certain fashion. So maneuver the direction of your polygons the way you want to, right? So I'm just going to add a couple of them like this. Right, now I'm going to build it here a little more. So I'm going to extend it like this. Just make sure that you closely aura the previous one. That's utmost importance as far as the Tangle Molygon is concerned. Yeah, so I'm going to keep it here and then we'll see if we want to add some other tangles, right? Now inside, in between these polygons, I'm going to add these loops, right? So I'm going to connect them, bring these to the end and add another aura. So adding two auras around the loop. So this is the first aura and this is the second aura, right? And I'm going to ink this loop. So connecting my two polygons here. Like this, right? Again, I'm going to connect two more. So you can do it any which ways, right? So no standard hard and fast rule here. You can connect any of them together. So I'm just choosing it randomly, right? Inking it. In case you don't want to ink it, then you may have to draw it a little more cautiously because then you will have to make sure that the lines don't cross, right? So again, I'm going to add one more here, adding two auras at the end, giving it the effect of the lines going under. Yeah. So take your time. Again, I'm going to add one more here. And then ink the loop. Right, something like this. Again, going to add one here. Small little things that can make a difference to your tile. So take your time and just connect these before we go ahead and add some other tangles. Yeah, so I'm going to connect these two also like this. Yeah, once we are done with that, now let us deck up our polygon, right? So I'm going to add a fine aura inside each of my polygon. So take your time and slowly add an aura inside each, and then it is up to you entirely what do you want to add inside. So we can go with these I'm keeping it simple here. Just go with some bold lines like these. Something like a simplified version of Knight's Bridge. Or you can add different tangles to each of the polygon. Entirely up to you. I leave that to you. Right? Something like this. I don't want the boldness of these shoelaces, right? to get lost in my tangling. So I'm keeping the inside of the polygon simple purposely. You can also go with simple orbs inside, tipple, something like that. Right? So whatever you feel like, that's fine. This is just an example. As I keep saying always, this is an idea. You are free to explore more of it. Choose your own tangles based on the same idea. Yeah. So slowly take your time and just deck up your polygon. Right. So I'm just adding a little bold line there. You can call it a version of Knight's Bridge if you want, or just simple lines with a slight weight there. Yeah. Take your time and do that exercise for all. Right? So I'm done with that exercises. I've added those boulder lines throughout my polygon. Yeah. So now what you can do is just add a aura. So I'm enclosing my polygon here like this. Right. So I'm adding one more layer of aura there, and then we are going to tangle around it. Right. So once we are done with that, now let's choose tangles that we want to. So I'm going to add some crescent moon here. We have some nice spaces for crescent moon here. Let's do that on one side of our polygon. Right. So just fill it up. Right. Slowly take your time and ink these moons. Like this. So you can choose tangles that you want to in the rest of the space. Again, it is your choice of tangles. This is just what I feel like doing at this point of time. Yeah. So started to add auras, one to each, simultaneously to all. Second line of aura. Slowly add one aura to all. Again, the third one. Right? Again, just adding some more auras there. And then we will add one more layer of moons. Right? So I'm going to add one more layer of moons here like this. And then add some further auras. Yeah. So once you are done adding one more layer, then again add some more auras. This arrangement of crescent moon looks really nice, gives a layered effect and gives a lot of shading opportunity also. So that's why I thought of using it here. Right, so this is kind of layering of crescent moon, and you can highlight those layers, those overlaps, and it looks really beautiful. Yeah, so add one or two more here before we close this side. So crescent moon, one of the first few tangles taught to anybody who is new to Zentangle, and always remains a favorite because of its simplicity, because of its versatility, right? Because it can be used in so many different ways. Again, I'm going to add 2-3 auras here. And let us stop here. We'll see if we want to add something else there. You can always add one or two here, hidden ones. I think would look nice. Moons coming out from behind the Molygon. Again, one aura, two aura, and probably one more here. One aura, two aura. Yeah. So in between space, if you want, you can leave it empty. But my classic printums, I find an opportunity always to place it somewhere or the other, right? So that was about crescent moon. Now let us move on to adding some more. I feel like adding one here also. Probably 3 auras there. Yeah. So in the rest of the section, now again, up to you what you want to add. Let's go with some nice flowy mookas there. Right? So again, a one stroke tangle. You can draw it in furled. You can draw it unfurled. Whichever way you feel like. Right? So take your time and insert some nice mookas there. Whatever spaces you have, whichever way you feel like. Avoid lifting your hand once you have started drawing the tangle, unless you are drawing behind. Yeah? So great fun to draw the tangle. Just drawing some stems there behind, hidden ones there. You can draw as many as you want. Yeah? Feel free to add some Bronxcheers here and there. Comes handy as a filler. Adds nice boldness to your tile. It's a nice filler. Nice standalone tangle, whichever way you want to use it. Yeah? I'm just using it to fill up the small little spaces here and there. You could have filled it with normal orbs or tipple also. But again, if you want to add a bit of drama there, then it's always a better idea to go with Bronxcheers. It will instantly add that drama. Yeah. So you can use it to, add it in between also. But in between spaces, probably I will just add some rounding. At the turnings, just add some ink. Adds to the look of your tile. Gives that sticky kind of an effect. Yeah. As if they are stuck with each other. Nice and simple. Mookas. Little bit of inking here and there, always a good idea. Yeah. Wherever you can, add that bit of ink. Take your time and do that exercise. Yeah. Very small little spaces. You can ink it comfortably. It adds to the look of the tangle and your tile. Yeah. So let us now add some bit of embellishment there. So I'm just going to add some puffs before we move on to shading. Right? So you can stop here or you can add more. Whichever way you are comfortable. So let us first shade our tile and then we shall see if we want to add anything else. Yeah. So as I mentioned, crescent moon in layers adds a nice shading opportunity. So just add some graphite at the overlaps here. And just blend softly. It really adds to the look of your moons. Right? And then on the Molygon, again, it is up to you. So spaces are small, so I'm just going to add some at the ends. Both sides. Right? But it is again up to you. If you want to add an aura inside with your graphite pencil, you can do that. Crescent moon, little bit left there. Both sides of your Molygon. Take your time. Slowly do that exercise. On the Mooka heads, always a good idea. The pods and from where lines are emerging. Yeah. So let's shade this much first and then we shall see if we want to add something else. So with a very soft hand, just blend the graphite without blending too much. You just have to highlight the overlaps and not cover the entire moons. like this. Yeah. Moving on to our Molygon, just a little at the ends. Take your time. Blend it. Don't blend too much. You want the center white. A slight touch on the moons here. Again, don't blend too much. Spaces are small. Yeah. Coming to our Mooka heads. Just blend the graphite. Like this. Yeah. So now if you want to use your chalk, you can do that. So use your chalk pencils on these sections of your moons where you have not added graphite. Highlight it a little more. Yeah. Like this. And then you can always highlight the center of your Molygon where there is no graphite. Spaces are less, so whatever spaces are there, just highlight those spaces. Yeah. You can always use a different blending stub and just soften the chalk. Right? So if you want, you can add a little zen by adding some loops here also. So it is entirely up to you, right? So if I want, I can add some loops here. Right? So that is entirely up to you whether you want to do that. Basically choose tangles which will look nice with this loop. Right? So I'm just adding few more there. Like this. Right? So there are more spaces. If you want, you can add them at few more places also. For example, here. Right? So there's one here. You can add one more like this. Right? So just use your imagination. Place it wherever you feel like to make it the highlight of your tile, to give it a little different look. Right? So I can do one here also. If you want, you can do. If you don't want, just right? So I'm just going to add one more here. Yeah, I think we are done. So we don't need to do anything else here. So I'm going to close my tile here, right? One small thing if you want to do, you can do is use your brush pen again and add a little shadow under this loop like this. Yeah. So since spaces are small and you already have ink there, so you have to be little careful, just a slight shadow, right? It will add to the look of your tile definitely, but you have to be little careful because it has to be at a little distance, not absolutely attached to your ink, a little distance because it's a shadow like this, right? So wherever you want to, you can do that. Small little things that add to the look of your tile. Yeah, a little darkness if you want to use your brush pen at the ends of your Molygon, right? So you can always use your brush pen and add a little extra darkness at the ends of your Molygon. Where spaces are small, it's easier to work with it. So take your time, go to each. You can always add that extra darkness with your brush pen. Places that you want to highlight a little more, a little extra darkness there. I always use it wherever I have to highlight overlaps. It's a good idea. Yeah. So we are done, right? So let us close our tile here. Don't forget to put your chop, sign and date it. Right? And I shall see you again with another new series. Till then, enjoy. Have a good time. Bye bye.